Hello, engineers, and welcome back to our channel. So, I got a lot of queries out of curiosity regarding the profile that I'm working for, which is DevSecOps. So, people asked me earlier, like, what things are considered in the security aspects when we talk about DevOps? Okay, how do we secure SDLC? So, those questions were coming up from the people who were working as a DevOps engineer and then who were preparing for DevSecOps interviews. Nowadays, I got requests from a lot of college students and some of the professionals who are working as a software engineer or who are in development stuff, and they want to learn how DevOps works. Okay, what are the different tools, and how do we leverage cloud infrastructure as well as containerization to scale up the application deployment processes. So that's what led to this particular day, wherein today we are going to start the Docker series, in which we are going to learn about the basics, advanced, and the intermediate topics, or rather, I would say basics, intermediate, and advanced topics, all related to Docker, how to use Docker to application and its development. How do you run multiple instances of the same application on either your local host machine or some remote host or servers. So today is the first day wherein we are going to learn about what are the different topics that we are supposed to cover in the Docker series. Okay, so I hope you all are excited for this particular stuff that we are going to see in a bit. So let's see what we are going to learn regarding the Docker topics we will discuss first. And these are the stuff that we are going to learn in our upcoming videos. So, right from the basics, wherein what we are going to learn is first the concepts and then the hands on practice of this particular Docker tool. So, in the basics, what we are going to learn is first of all the very important stuff, which is virtualization and containerization. What is the difference between both of them, and how one gave birth to the another one. So that's the very important stuff that you need to learn regarding the basic idea of why Docker was developed. Then we will learn about the Docker, okay, itself, its architecture, what are the different components, how they fit in together, and then how do you use them, how do you install them. That is what we will learn. Then we will see what is image, what is a container, what is a daemon, what is Docker CLI, okay, what is registry, what is Docker Hub, what is a Docker file. So these things, if you want to become a DevOps engineer and you want to learn Docker, these are the most important first few things that you should be learning. Otherwise, you will not learn the entire ecosystem, so to say. So this is the very first stuff in the basics. Then along with the basics, as I mentioned, we will also learn to do some practical hands-on stuff. Then how to pull images from a registry, how to write Docker files, and then how to build custom Docker images, then how to run containers, how to run multiple containers, containerize an application. If you have written some application in either Node.js, .NET, Java, Python, Ruby, whatever it may be, how do you containerize those applications? Okay, and how do you fit all these things together? That is what we will learn. So that comes under writing a Docker file. So how to do it? What are the standard conventions to do that stuff? It is what we will learn in the basic hands-on labs. Then how to push an image to a registry. So here, unless and until you know what is the concept of registry, what is the concept of image, okay, you will not learn. Uh, you will not be able to get to understand this stuff. So that's why I have these things, that once you do the theoretical part, then you move to the practical hands-on part of that particular thing. That is the best way to approach to any learning patterns. Next is the intermediate level that we will learn. So in this intermediate level, once we have all this previous stuff figured out and you are good with it, we will learn how to persist storage, because something, when you run a container and when you stop that container, whatever the actions were taken inside it would get destroyed. So how to persist those stuff if you want it to persist? So storage is one thing. Then how to run multi-container applications? Okay, one, there is front end, back end, and database. Okay, these are the three different uh, parts of an entire application. So how do you containerize them all and then run it together to make a single app fully functional? That is what multi-container application stands for. Then what is networking? How it works in the Docker architecture? How do you make one container communicate with another container? Then comes the part wherein to understand all of these things, we will have to first learn what are Docker volumes, what is Docker network. Okay, so and then what is Docker compose. So this is how you will get to learn these concepts and how they are applied using the Docker ecosystem. Then we will learn about how to check logs and monitor the containers that are running inside your Docker host or wherever it is running. So we will check for logs and then we will try to monitor them. Then we will learn what is port mapping, what is Docker exec, okay, how to enter and run commands into a running container. That is what we will learn using Docker exec. Then image layer and caching. Then what is entry point versus CMD? It is related to the Docker file writing stuff. So if you are going to an interview and someone asks you, okay, tell me whenever you write Docker file, what's the difference between entry point and CMD or run, let's say. So these different keywords that we use while writing Docker files. What is the difference between copy and add? So you should be able to give answers to these basic questions. That's the reason that I have added it over here. And then on the hands-on stuff, we will learn how to persist storage for containers, then how to communicate with containers using the networking stuff, then how to define multi-container application using Docker Compose. As I mentioned, you have to run three-tier application: the front end, back end, and the database. How do you do that? So that is what we will see in this particular stuff. Then how do you define container behavior? Okay, how it starts up, how does it establishes its networks. So that's basically is the thing that we will be learning in this uh, hands-on demo practices. Then comes the advanced topic that we will be learning in our Docker series, wherein we are going to learn about what is multi-stage builds, what is called as orchestration, and these are really pillars of modern applications that you see these days. So orchestration is a really vast topic, so which we would cover in Kubernetes, and as well Docker Swarm would be used for it. So what is Docker Swarm? What is Kubernetes? Okay, what these tools are, how they can help you, do the orchestration stuff. Then what is Docker security? So using Docker Scout, we can, try to find out the vulnerabilities in our application or the image, so to say. Then what is secret management? How to achieve that particular thing? What is Docker API? Okay, what are distroless images? Okay, and what is Docker in Docker? These are really important for you to learn so that you can optimize the builds and then use Docker in Docker concept to leverage CI/CD pipeline configurations. Then Docker security best practices is what we will learn as a part of creating a distroless or slim images, wherein you can see, okay, how do we reduce the size of image and then optimize the builds. That would be part of a best practice, but it would not majorly come into security because it is just optimizing the processes. Creating a secure image and then scanning it for certain vulnerabilities would be a good part to learn, wherein Docker Scout is will be leveraged for our use case. And how to create slim images, that is again a part of standard based practice. How to use distroless image to make the size of image a bit less. So that is one thing. Again, how do we manage secrets and sensitive data is what we will learn in the secret management part. Then how to use Docker in CI/CD pipeline, how to orchestrate the containers using Kubernetes and Docker Swarm, then how to scale the containers using single command, and how to use Docker in cloud. These are the different things that would come under our advanced topics. So those are the topics that we are going to learn in the entire Docker series, wherein you would be going from basic to advanced and become a pro in using Docker. And I would really like that if you got any help in cracking your interviews after looking at these particular videos, then it would be beneficial for me as well as the entire community. So let me know if you like the content, and share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. And whatever your queries regarding DevOps and security are, you can ping me on LinkedIn, as well as comment down below in this comment section. So that's it for our today's video. So see you in the next one, and keep learning until then. Bye.